All right. Sorry for the late start. I was helping somebody else. We're gonna start in a couple of minutes. All right. Oh, that's the wrong button. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to let people trickle in because, again, I was a little late. I was helping non-codes, which she streams way longer than me, so I will probably go back to her place after. Not her place, her stream. Jesus, Lee. All right. You always redeem it so early, Clem. Oh my god. You never let the other people get in for it. But welcome. Yeah, I was doing a live resume review as they were watching my resume review for Nan Codes, who is currently streaming. So that was why. All right, we're gonna give Bear his performance review. He's currently chewing on a rawhide. Are we out of treats for this? Well, we have a little bit of treat left. All right, I need to get you more treats. I do. Okay. Alrighty. So, Bear, today you've been very good. In fact, your performance has been excellent this week. You have been, I really, except for the fact that you decided 11 o'clock at night to bark at the door because you thought you heard something, you've been very good. So, overall, I can't really think of anything you've done wrong. You've been respecting our private space. You are not barking at the neighbor's dog. And even though that was a small section of barking at the door, you were very good. You're a good boy. Yes. Can I submit my resume for a review? Yeah, everybody can. It's free for all. That's a good tagline. Yeah, the resume reviews are free for all. So just put them in. It is a first come, first serve, Captain Jack. Welcome back. And so it may take a little bit. I definitely won't get to it this week unless you unless you use the channel points for a skip the line button. Because again, I have a wedding this week on Friday, so I cannot make this normal Friday stream. Not my wedding. Whoa. Why, ants? I thought I took care of you. Oh my god, I hate these ants. Hate these ants so much. All right. I have to fix that again after. Thank you. Well, it's a friend's wedding. I am getting married in a month, but it is a friend's wedding from high school that I'm going to this Friday. All right. Did I make it seem like it was my wedding? No. Okay, cool. All right, let me do this. What is this? What am I looking at? I don't actually know what I'm looking at. Also, I might have found the reason why I've been having crazy headaches and have to like sit down and then streams. So that hopefully will not happen anymore. Apparently, I think I was allergic to one of my hair gels because I always wondered why is it that I always get these massive headaches when I start doing stuff or streaming or look important, and I think it was actually the hair gel. So is there a link where I can submit my resume, or do I have to send it via chat? No. There's a link. It's on my website, which I think is there. It's not. I need to like link it to there so people can do it. There you go. Submit it through there. Okay, this is a software engineer intern. Where is the intern? Where is the intern? I know I have them. There it is. Okay. And I think that's it. Is there anything else this person said? No, 1 in 50. That's actually kind of solid. Okay. All right, yeah. And away we go. This is a resume review of a software engineer intern. This person actually has a pretty good ratio. They are at 1 in 50 for a software engineer intern, which is really solid, honestly. So that's like a B minus. So I'm expecting this to be good, and then maybe only a couple of small tweaks, which, based on the corner of my eye, before I actually look at this, is probably going to be a little bit of formatting, but content, I'm assuming, is good. And content is more important than formatting. I've said that a lot, and that's very true. So let's look. What we're going to be looking for an intern is a couple of basic things. Basic knowledge of tech stack. We're talking library, language, SQL, cloud, and the ability to work well with others, takes direction and criticism, and prior internships. It is very much a win more kind of thing. So if you have an internship, it is easier to get more internships. So let's look. This is hard to read. See, I don't know if this is needed. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this formatting. There's way too much bolding. Truthfully, if you just removed like all the bolding in here and probably remove that, it'd be easier. Again, not a huge thing of skill sections, but it's not a huge deal because you're getting 1 in 50 at least. So let's see. Experience, AI engineering and research intern. This is good. Developed a scalable vector. Scalable is a very good keyword for a lot of stuff. Most things are scaled. Python, LangChain, Gemini API, Selenium, web browser. Yeah, these are keywords that I'd want. Contributed to performing for a data review. Honor Society Hackathon. Yeah, this is good. They would like this. Troubleshooting bugs. This is good. Yeah. So, I mean, I can see why you're getting interviews. I mean, the real thing is your formatting's a little off. I would prefer you use my formatting, but I mean, even if you just removed all the bolding, with the exception of the education and the experience and your name and the projects, you'd be fine. I think this is more of a formatting issue. It's still rough, but I think if you just remove some of that formatting and made it easier to read, maybe remove the skill section, you would probably get like a 1 in 40, 1 in 35. So we go from like a B minus to like a B plus essentially. It's still a B because, again, it's tough out there for interns. I don't want like anybody to think like even with a phenomenal resume you're going to get hit with like 1-in-1 interviews. It's still rough. So, but yeah, you have the right keywords. You've written them correctly. I see that you can work well with others. I can see that you can like do all that stuff. You have previous experience. This is a very solid resume. It's just held back by some formatting issues and maybe a little bit of extraneous stuff. So that's it. Overall solid. Do like. Let's go to the next resume. Hey, Rube. You're the director in the current role. Want to apply for the senior IC level. How would I address this? Am I really feel like you're rejected? You are, actually. That is correct. You are specifically getting rejected because of your... so there is a thing where if you are too experienced, you will get rejected because that is an overqualified issue. And you may, as a director, you may have run into this before, is what is, quite frankly, you think one of the, like, would you rather, right? Let me ask you a question as a director. Would you rather make a hire or a bad hire? Or no hire? Those the other options. So, a hire, sorry, would you rather have a bad hire or no hire? I'm still waking up. And the answer to that is probably no hire, as most managers and directors would rather nobody be there than a bad hire that messes with team coherency. And a bad hire can be people that are overqualified, because if you're overqualified, what they're going to think is, hey, Rube is only applying to this IC position until a director level position comes back. So they think you're going to leave them, right? And I know you may know this, is it can get a very anxious attachment style while like looking for talent. And if somebody is only there for about 3 to 4 months, that's kind of a waste, because it really takes like 6 to 9 months for someone to really come online and make a difference. So if someone is going to leave before then, which they may think, then that is why. I hope that made sense. I find they're very not interested even in a decent or slightly above decent. Yeah, it's again, it's the fear of leaving, right? They are essentially doing the whole like, I don't want you to leave me, so I'm going to reject you before you can leave me. And I not just like, because it takes time, right? They want you to be there for a while. If they think a candidate is going to leave within about a year and a half, most people are probably not going to hire. Some managers will, like, in some things, they're like, yeah, we just need them for that long, or this is just the industry standard. But for most of the cases, they're just not going to hire you in the first place. So that's it. So what we would like to do in your resume is just, this is kind of tough because I guess, would you be a lead from the front or lead from the back kind of manager? Because that's kind of, were you hands-on or handed-off, Rubu? I don't actually know how to say that. Rube. That sounds like an insult. I don't like that. So present a comp perk package that encourages a long stay. Anything but that, though. Well, yeah, but like that's not usually up to them, right? That's like 4 decisions above them, typically. Now, if you're a senior director, that may be like 2 or 3 decisions above, but they don't have that. Like, because a lot of managers don't have the power to affect a comp perk package. Now, I have actually made changes in organizations involving that a little bit, and you need a lot of proof. So they need a lot of people to leave before they can even present a package. And even then, it's not guaranteed they're going to be able to do it, especially if like a company went through layoffs or they're having issues, right? But they can push it. The problem is that doesn't mean they're going to succeed, right? But I do agree they can push it. But they absolutely can push it. That is correct. Did I not click record? Okay, we're redoing that resume. We're going to do a speed run. Damn it. Stupid. This is a resume review of a software engineer intern. This is going to be very quick because I forgot to hit record on the last time I reviewed this. So this is a second go around. The short answer to this is what we're going to be looking for is basic knowledge of tech stack, language library, SQL, cloud, ability to work well with others, takes direction and criticism, and previous experience in an internship. Internships are very much a win more kind of thing. So this person has a 1-to-50 ratio, which as an intern is honestly like a B-. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's like a B-. So I was expecting this to be good, and I was. It was good. Truthfully, these are very fantastic bullet points. They tell me most of the things that I want to see about it. My only real issue with this is kind of the formatting. I think there's a lot of extraneous stuff. Like, I'm not a huge fan of his technical skills section ever. There's too much bolding overall. Like, there's so much bolding. But the actual bullet points, once you get to this, which is what I like, are very good. These are very good bullet points. These are what I want to see. So, again, I think if you fix the formatting, it'd go from like a B- to a B+. It's still tough. I mean, look, it's very impactful. Internships are highly competitive. Even with a phenomenal resume, you're probably not going to get a 1-in-10 ratio, realistically. So, but I think I could move this from a 1-to-50 to maybe 1-in-40, 1-in-35, 1-in-40, 5-ish. So, which is a small bump. And I think to do that is to either remove this part right here, stop with all the bolding. This shouldn't be bolded. None of this should be bolded. And yeah, it's mainly just a lot of bolding and a little bit of formatting. So just fix those formatting issues, quite frankly, and I think you're going to be good. But don't change the bullet points. They're fantastic. And if any other engineer intern wants to know how to make good bullet points, these are really good. These are very good bullet points. Like, developed a scalable vector database. Scalable is something people like. Using Python, that's one. Integrating LangChain, people like LangChain. And API, people like API. And AI. And then developed a retrieval, identified documents using Selenium. Selenium can be one. SME interviews. And then there's not here, but there's LLM. So yeah, these are pretty solid. So I actually really like these, especially your honor society ones. These are very, very good. You cannot forget your soft skills on a technical resume. And you didn't. You said led interacting coding sections, guiding 30 students to program Vex robots using Scratch to overcome various challenges. My water bottle just fell. So those are pretty good. I like them overall, and I just think it's a formatting issue. So let's go to the next resume. I wonder how many do. Probably more than you think. Truthfully. Probably more than you think. It's very tough because that's not even when you do that, right? When you actually do those things, it can take months to why ants? I thought I took care of you. It can take like months to actually get all that stuff down. So it is much longer a process than I think you're thinking, because they don't just say, hey, the comp package is bad, we need to fix it. It's, we've had 3 to 4 months of people leaving due to comp packages. Here's the proof because we've already lost 7 to 8 employees. And then you bring that to the person that's in charge of it, and then they bring that to their boss. And then at the next cycle of when they change things, they may do that depending on the budget. So I think people do that. It's just a very long process, and getting the proof to what you need is actually something recruiters can do, but they don't always ask the recruiters. Like, I've been asked to help for comp before, not like the nitty gritty, but just like, hey, would this comp package be acceptable in this area based on your industry knowledge? And sometimes I said yes, sometimes I said no. A very good way to do this, and I don't know if this is going to matter to any of you, but about like how to find if a benefits package is good or not, is look at the average rent of the places in your area and see how much that is. That is what I do, is I will literally just bring up, like, not just Zillow, but like apartments.com or whatever, and be like, hey, so this is how much you're paying, which is, let's say, $15 an hour. This is how much a 1-bedroom costs. This is how much an X costs. So if you're actually pricing yourself out of this unless people live with their parents. So that also means nobody with kids. That means the amount of talent is lower, and you don't get to be as picky. So I can see that, but issue of bigger companies very much given the slack. I mean, the problem is, do smaller companies have that bandwidth? I mean, hopefully they do, but it's not. I want to be clear. I do think people can do it more than they should. I think there are ways to do it that are not done. I don't think you are. I think you're thinking it's easier than it is. That's my only thing. But even at smaller companies, it can be tough, because then you also have to raise the rates of everybody else, which is okay, and then you realize there could be internal equity issues, which aren't good, but the problem is when you're in internal equity issues, there is a big problem. So because that internal equity issues, for the record, are like, if you say, hey, we just realized that we're paying our people with 5 years experience what entry level makes. So the reason we can't get new talent is because we can't move that up, and that means we have to bump up everybody's pay, which I've seen them do, and I've been a fly in the wall for those things before and given advice once or twice. So people do realize it, but even then, when it started, it was a long process, because you have to make sure that you go through everybody's salary. You need to make sure that those people are being compensated. You need to make sure that the bonuses that you're going to offer for new hires are not going to cause current hires to leave. So it's a process. It's a process that needs to be done. I want to be clear. It's a process that absolutely needs to be done, but it's not an easy, quick process, even at small companies, because you're basically looking at like, oh, do I have to bring up everybody, which they may need to, but it's not a quick change. So, but I enjoy it when they do. I want to be clear. Like, the higher the pay, the easier it is for me to place people, as a general rule. So the accounting bodies propose solution to increase accounting grads, but none of them include pay bumps. So they're head in the sand, wondering why there's a shortage, so that address underlying issues. People go to CS. Yeah, but now CS isn't there, right? Like, that's just an overall job market. It's because I get what you're saying, but you're looking at it from a micro perspective. You need to look at it from like a macro perspective. It needs to be done, and like I said, I've semi-pushed for that, and I've been the fly on the wall for those things. So, but it's not a quick process, right? Like, you still have to dig in to find it. No, this is a trend in. So here's partly why this trend exists. Okay, it's because of an internal equity issue. I can probably guarantee you that is that if you raise everybody's salary by 2 to 3%, you're going to have possibly internal equity issues because that's not enough to keep up with inflation. So that's probably why is accounting has done that. I mean, do they? Because they still have to go to HR. They still have to go to all these things. Like, I want to be clear. It needs to be done. I'm not arguing that, like, it shouldn't be done. I just don't think it's a quick process. So. And then let me go to the next resume after I. Whoop. 99.3 M. What do you... Okay. What the heck? Did I actually do that last video and I needlessly recorded it? Son of a... I did record it. I was just too dang efficient. Now I'm upset. Now I'm upset with myself. I didn't need to redo that resume. All right, this person has their full contact information. So hold on, let me just... The next two have their full contact information. Bro, stop. All right, there we go. Okay, I just need to make sure this isn't going to dox them. No, I agree. But, like, you need to get accounting involved. You probably need to get a person in HR involved. You need to get the head boss involved. And... you know, it's needed, but they also may say, quite frankly, that it's not worth it. Rube, yeah, I answered your question. Did it not go through? I thought I did. That was like the first thing I answered. Did it not? Okay, well, let me re-answer it then. Yes, you are correct. If you are applying for IC role senior level, showing director is going to hurt. My question to you is, are you a hands-on or hands-off type of director? Because if you're hands-on type, you can just do like senior engineer or whatever, or leader or whatever, and then mark your actual projects, because you cannot write it like your leadership stuff. You need to write it like you're doing the engineering part or whatever. I don't know what industry you're in. Yeah, I don't know what industry you're in. So you basically want to focus on... So IC resumes are usually going to be keyword based, which are what you did and how you did it. Director level resumes are more the story of how you did it using what resources. So that's kind of what you're looking for. You can also say at the very top, which is looking to get back into X from directors level, because you could say like I after being a director for X, want to go back to being hands-on or something, right? This is a case of a summary sentence can actually be beneficial, but I don't know exactly what like your keywords are, because you know, but you're gonna need to write it like you were a IC, not a director. Does that answer your question? I hope it does. Okay, cool. All right. So let's do this resume. Wait, do I have the right keywords? Yes, I do. This is a resume review of a full stack software engineer. So what this person's ratio is 75-1, which is not great. Again, that's like a C-, because look, tech is bad right now, y'all. Otherwise, I would say that's like a fail, but tech is really bad. It's highly competitive. This does mean this resume does kind of pass, but barely. So let's take it to the next level, and as those cooking shows say, like, jazz it up, make it whatever. I don't know. You don't really want to jazz up your resume. Anyway, what we're going to be looking for is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, SQL, React, API, REST, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, and bonuses would be extra languages such as Python, C, Java, and Git. So this formatting is way off. Please use the formatting on my website below, which if the formatting's this bad and you're getting a 1 in 75, my guess is going to be that your actual bullet points are solid. So, because this is not an easy to read format. Innovative software. Okay, again, I don't care about this. I don't care about this. Also, I cannot go lower because this person put their full contact information and name, so I'm not showing that to people. Please, I don't want to dox you. Please, when you submit it to me, please scrub that information. So yeah, this entire little section. Why is it going all the way down there? It should be deleted. The technical skills I don't think are needed. The summary is not needed. Then you have 2 columns here. Gosh. I feel like you could fit I can't even show you all this because it's like messing up because of the formatting. So yeah, the education and cert should be the same. I don't know if Meta front-end professional cert is worth it or not. I've never seen a company want that. Maybe if you're applying to Meta. But the other 2 are. So I think you can at least have it at 2 to 3 lines. So... all right. Also, you say 8+ years of experience and you just graduated 2 years ago. That could be weird. All right. So, founding engineer, co-voice, design and develop the full stack archer using React, Python, Django, cross-functional real-time communication. Yeah. See, this is actually phenomenal. Formatting, it's awful, but this is what I'd want in an actual bullet point, which is what I expected when I went into this. If it had a 1 to 75 and it has terrible formatting, it means your bullet points are probably good. And this already does hit most of what I want, which is you said you designed and developed a full stack architecture of co-voice, whatever that is, using React Native, Python, Django, Java, Golang, which are some keywords, and you have API and Django. And you have scalability, which is a word they like. Then you said AI ML, which is good. You have AWS for your cloud. So we have, I think I'm maybe missing TypeScript and JavaScript and HTML, but yeah, this is overall solid. Yeah, I think I may be missing JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and SQL. I think those are the only things I'm missing. I cannot search for them because it would dox your phone number. So... but yeah, overall, these are pretty solid. It's just the problem is this is what I care for on a resume, right? This stuff down here. And there's so much stuff above it that is essentially blocking my view of it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, you have React, Python, SQL. Yeah, this is fine. You essentially over-engineered this and made it worse. Like, if you literally removed everything above your experience with the exception of education and certificates, you would have a much better ratio. So stop with the fanciness, all right? Good resumes are boring. I'm sorry. They're stable. We want our resume to be good, just stable and boring and easy to read. And this isn't. So fix the formatting, use my formatting. Bullet point wise, I don't know if you actually really need to change anything. Maybe add JavaScript and CSS, HTML to one of those up top under that, and I think you're okay. In addition, instead of founding engineer, just do engineer, right? If you have your own company, it looks kind of bad on a resume, but once you get into the actual interview, managers are usually okay with it. So what you should do is instead of saying founder and engineer, just say full stack engineer for co-voice. That's all. And if they ask you about it in the interview, you can tell them like, yeah, I started my own company and I don't like it. I really like working for other people. And that's fine. It's just in a resume, it can be a bit of a red flag. So that's kind of it. Fix the formatting. Add like 3 very small keywords that I think you could fit into maybe the 3rd bullet point or 2nd bullet point, if you even need them. I mean, those are pretty solid bullet points. And replace the founding engineer with full stack engineer. And I think you're going to have a lot better than 1 in 75. I would guess 1 in 35, 1 in 40 potentially. Maybe a little lower actually. So let's go to the next resume. All right, I submitted my resume, so maybe we could review it eventually. Yes, if you submit it, I will review it. It's just, there's a line. That's all there is to it. It's free. I don't charge. And because of that, there is a line. We are on resume 258. And there are the one that I think you just submitted was 292. So there's about 41, give or take, resumes between. So I might be able to get to it next week. Again, I'm not streaming this Friday because of a friend's wedding. So otherwise, I would say I would get to it next week. But I'm going to be a little behind. Hi, Bear Bear. Hello. I reached down for my water bottle. I didn't reach down to pet you. Oh, I know. I love you, though. I know. You're a good boy. My former manager ended up getting more screenings. Okay. Good. I'm glad that was fixed. It sounds like they did it. What do you want? I'm being attacked by my dog. Hi, Bear. What do you want? What do you want, Bear? Your tail is so waggy. Why? Okay. Don't take down my green screen. You're taking down my green screen. Dog, why? I love this dog. He is a terror sometimes, though. Ugh. I know. Come here. Come here. I love you. All right, let me get the next resume up real quick. Again, they doxed themselves, so I have to remove that contact information. So give me a minute just to fix it. And we also have an ad, so let's see. Did they do this? Okay, I don't know if they're actually... Whatever. There we go. But yeah, I don't have those normal crazy headaches so far. So I think I was allergic to my hair gel, which was why I was having so many darn sinus issues and whatever. Which sucks because it actually works well. Like, and and it wasn't like it smelled bad either. I actually really liked it, and now I can't use it. So if my hair floofs out, that's why. Okay, enough borking. No more borks. And this is a software engineer intern. Thanks, yes. Oh my god, the ants. I need to fix it after the stream again. I thought I did. Hate ants. Hate ants. Hate them so much. I'm sure they're a valuable part of the ecosystem, but I don't like them. I don't like them. That's also because I grew up in Texas, and fire ants were vicious. Absolutely vicious. Is this right? Did this person really have this ratio? Okay, I guess that's good. And we're back. Okay, cool. I can do the next one. But yeah, I'm glad your former manager is getting success. So, that is good. So, interns have less expectation for interviews because of high demand and low supply of openings. EO's being nice. Yeah, I mean, let's see. So, interns have less expectations. Yes, essentially. Because you have to, like, there is no job market, right? When people say job market, and I say it, it's not quite correct. Because if you look at the job market overall, it's almost irrelevant to the people inside of it, because the job market is 300 job markets in a trench coat, right? And you have to kind of add modifiers and stuff to each one. And for internships in general, yes, it is very hard to get an internship. And then especially not just for internships, but in a highly crowded market, which is IT, that's an additional modifier. So yes, that would be why the ratio screening is so high for interns. So that is specifically the reason. Because, like, Accounting is good. At least it was when I checked a couple of months ago. Maybe it shifted. So, but which means an accounting intern would have a modifier of intern, which is tougher to get a job, but in a less crowded market, which is going to be slightly better. So like 1 to 50-ish. So it's really tough to say this on a macro level. I said macro a lot today because it's almost irrelevant to individual people, because an actuary versus a front end software engineer are going to have very different experiences, even with the same level of skill in the same location. So it's very tough to just say in general the job market is bad, which is true, and that the vast majority of them are down and there's not a lot of openings. But again, that's almost irrelevant for when you take it as an individual. So I don't know, maybe somebody can explain that better than me, but that's the words that I chose. That's the words that I chose. I have such weird word recall. I remember I forgot the word for job on a stream. Like, that was the most embarrassing one. I was like, I'm going to get you and I forgot it. Word recall does not always recall. All right, let's do this resume. I hit the wrong button. Not this time, Lee. This is a resume review of a software engineer intern. So they want to specifically know how they can get remote jobs. Their ratio is actually okay for an intern. It's 1 to 50. And my dog is just attacking me right now. Hello, boy. I love you. So 1 to 50 is not bad, but they want to know how they can get like remote sites, and they want to know if there's any agencies which hire remotely. So the issue with that is, I don't know where you're looking to get remote into. Remote jobs are highly competitive. The other thing is, I saw that your phone number, at least if you're going to the US, which you may not be, I don't really know, you need your phone number to be dialable by the people in the country you're applying to. And even then, I don't know if they do a lot of remote internships. So I actually expect this resume to be fine, like content-wise, because again, they have a 1 to 50 ratio. But for remote, there's a couple of other issues that are not just resume related. There's like, can you legally work in that area? Can you legally get an internship in that area? And yes, those things are different. Would they then make that remote, which is probably not. So assuming you're still going for software engineer interns, I can only really base this on software engineering interns in the area that I know. So let's begin, which we already did that 2 resumes ago. So these are the keywords, basic skill set, and I expect this to be good. So fine-tune OpenAI, APIs, good. NLPs integrated with the massive 3D API, optimize APIs. Design a lightweight, scalable website integration. There needs to be keywords here. I would like some language, right? I want like Java or Python or whatever. But the fact you have API and AI is okay. I prefer a little bit more. IoT, Raspberry Pi, Synapse, SQL. Here we go. Again, Docker is solid. AppSmith. These are okay. I just want more, right? Like, I would actually sort of go to the keywords on the previous one, because those are a little bit better than yours from my understanding. Although really it depends on where you're going to apply for internships. Project, spearheaded. I also want to know that you can work well with others, but there's a lot of percentages here, and I don't really care that much about percentages. So this is okay. These need to be in the bullet points. You cannot just have these out here. So yeah, it's okay, right? Like, these are okay bullet points, which I guess see why you're doing it. But for remote, I'd probably want a little bit more of what I'm looking for. I want some basic languages. I want to know how you worked well with others, that kind of thing. So this probably does pass for on-site. I don't fully know if it's going to pass for remote, because those are crazy competitive, and these are okay bullet points. So I would actually look at the previous 1 resume ago, not the last one, but the one before that. They had better bullet points in general, although I do like your AI bullet points up here, so these are solid. But yeah, that's it for this resume review video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. And check out my live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST if you need more help live. And I'll see you all in the next video. Accounting is fine so far, just because there's less applicants, but there's a lot of propaganda about our roles being outsourced. That is true. And you know what? I will say there is something that I should say is typically when people this actually does go across markets is whenever anybody ever says we don't have X, what they mean is we don't have X with 2 years of experience. Entry level is still a nightmare to get. Bear's licking very loudly. So entry level has and is going to be very difficult to get, because when they say we are missing like software engineers or we're missing accountants or we're missing nurses, they don't mean people that just graduated. They mean people with 2 years experience. So I fully agree with you that they are probably outsourcing the entry level roles. But that's actually going to make the non-entry level roles more valuable later on, because there's no one to actually... There's no progression, right? Because, like, you don't just become a 2 years experience without doing those 2 years. And if nobody's hiring people for those 2 years, it means those 2 years are more valuable. So, but yeah, it is unfortunately always 2 years of experience. Some industries you can get by with less, like nursing every once in a while, but yeah. They always mean basically 2 years experience, which sucks. It absolutely does suck. But that does mean that if your industry is not hiring people with entry level, means, agency recruiters are going to make a killing on them when there's a eventual lack and we need them. So that's how my industry actually usually gets money, is nobody hires the entry levels. There's a lack of mid-level people, and the mid-level people are very much needed, so then they get agency recruiters. I applied only to startups in Q4, but my current role I ended up doing entry-level grunt work anyway. Really? That's interesting. That means they may just not want to pay for it, but... Okay. Oh, this is episode 100. We are about to go to episode 100. So, which is technically not episode 100. It's just episode 100 since I started to count it. DevOps engineer. Teams are small, so you wear all hats. Oh, okay, yeah. If it's a small, that makes sense. That does make sense. Anyway, yeah. Welcome, if new people. If you're here, feel free to ask me questions. I'm not going to be here this Friday because of the wedding, so get your questions in now. That kind of stuff. I do free resume reviews. I am here to help. So, and I keep checking my email because there's an email I need, and I may have to send a couple emails after this. But what am I looking for? The next resume, Lee. That's what we're looking for. We actually did this one. So that's that. That's this. That's that. This is pretty, which is why I hate it. I don't want pretty. Pretty is not what I want. Stop making fancy. I want basic. I want, like, I know this is awkward. Like, when resumes, I just want boiled chicken. I don't want all the seasonings. Which in real life, that's not the case. I actually like a lot of seasonings because I actually don't like chicken. But yeah, this is... Okay, so they also wanted to know if they could do... What was it? I've been trying for a long time, trying to switch to DevOps. DevOps has... Yeah, these are completely different keywords, my guy. Or gal, whatever. Yeah, those are completely different keywords. Cheap viewers, I don't... Why would I care about... What about expensive viewers, huh? I want an ad to just say, what about expensive viewers? No one comes in asking for expensive. What if I have high taste in viewers? What if I want expensive viewers? What if I'm like, oh, I don't want to pay for cheap viewers. I want to pay for expensive viewers. I don't even know why people do that in general. Like... I don't. I mean, I guess I do. It's just weird that people buy viewers like that. I mean, it kind of makes sense for like companies and products because it can make it appear more. But I guess it would jump you to the algorithm. But whatever. That person has been banned. Okay. And away we go. This is a resume review of a full stack software engineer. So they have said specifically that they've been trying for a long time. They might switch to DevOps. If you have advice on that, that will be cool. So the problem with that is a completely different set of keywords. This right here is the keywords for full stack, which we're going to be using. These are the keywords for cloud. DevOps. DevOps is going to have a very different resume completely. So what is my opinion on it? It's not going to be this resume. You can never... Every resume needs to be very specific. This goes for everybody. If you try to make a resume that can fit 2 job titles, it's probably going to fail at both. In fact, it's usually going to fail at both. So we're going to review specifically for full stack developer. And they have an okay ratio. Again, not great. It's 1:75, but like market's bad, y'all, for software engineer. So that's like a C-. That's kind of my view, 1:75. But let's see if we can't make it better. And, you know, if you all like this kind of content and want to support me, please like, comment, and subscribe. It seriously helps. Even if you just put a comment that says, hey, it's beneficial. And if you need more help, stop by my live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. PST. I help for free there live as well. My brain did not work. Let's go with the resume. So this is a nightmare in formatting. I hate this formatting. Please don't use this. I want basic formatting, okay? Like when you make your resume, boring is good. I know that flies in the face of a lot of it, but most recruiters will say, yes, I want it to be easy to read. I want to get the information. This is fancy. I don't want fancy, all right? So formatting is bad. This stuff can be deleted. Where's your education? Why is it down here? Okay. BS in computer. Okay, so this needs to be up top, all right? You don't need to say when you started. You just need to have it up top. For IC resumes, which are individual contributor resumes, you almost always want your education up top because it's usually a requirement. I can't really think of anything that's not off the top of my head. So the education should be here, and then what I really want is this, and it should be 2 lines. And please stop with all the fancy colors. This makes it so much worse. So this section can safely be deleted, and then you can put the education and certificate part up there. So let's look at the actual... Also, this font is bad. I know I have bad eyes, but I'm going to have to actually lean in for this. You're going to get a big old face view, unfortunately, but the font is bad. Used. Even if you're still working there, used. Everything should be in past tense, even if you're still working there. It just reads better. Used programming languages such as Python, Java, React, and MySQL to develop and provide solutions. For what? Agile methodologies for streamlining project. Again, for what? Is this client standards used? Okay, so okay, these are not great, but they're not terrible. This is a C- resume. So what I want you to do is I do need JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, okay? I also need to know why you did these things. So your bullet points should be, with the exception of the first one under each job, should very much be a what, how, and why, right? So what you did, that is going to be the keyword. In which case you did that here. I see the what. The what is all over that. The how you did it, I don't see. Do I see a how? No, I see some of them are how you use them, but not a lot. But I need to know why you did it. Now, this doesn't have to be a brag. The why is not necessarily a brag. It's just why you did it. And I don't see that. So the bullet points need to be better, and the formatting is really holding you back. I mean, seriously, if you just made this all black and white, removed this, and put your education and certs up top, and made it 10.5 Arial, you'd actually get way more stuff, even without changing the bullet points. So, but yeah, you have the what. So you have basically all the keywords. I do need very much a HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but beyond those, keywords are good. I just need them to be more, right? Utilized AWS to create VPAs that contain internal structures such as that. Why? Again, not terrible, but why? So yeah, this resume is not far from being good. I want to be clear. It's just I need more, okay? And there's so much extraneous stuff. Stop trying to make it fancy. Fancy fails, all right? No fancy resumes. I want boring, basic. All right, boring basic is good. 10.5 aerial, that is peak. That is a good resume, okay? So overall, again, definitely formatting issues, some slight bullet point issues, and that's kind of it. That's really what's holding you back. Let's go to the next resume. Rule of thumb, how many bullets do you like per roll? Assuming no promotion. It's tough because it's going to depend on how long you've been there. But I would say on average, 5 to 7. 3 to 7 if you barely have anything, but 5 to 7 is ideal. So 5 to 7 is about where we want. Again, it can vary because this person was here for 5 years, so it's the bulk of their experience. So, you know, rule of thumb on that one is 5 to 7. And the next person did the full contact information. Why is everybody putting their full contact information now? Stop it. I say to stop. I don't want your social. I don't want your social when I'm recruiting anyway. People sometimes put that on there. It's like they put everything on there, and sometimes it's just like, here's my social security number and my bank account. I'm like, I did not ask for that. Sir, I just want your phone number, your email, and your LinkedIn. That's it. Give me that. If I ask for that, I can give it to you for like the W-2s or whatever. But education on top, but don't a lot of employees value experience over education? Okay, so the reason you put the education on top, and I'll show you why, right? A full stack developer. Right, here is why you put the education on top. Requirements. Now, not all of them need it, but here is a requirement, right? You need your degree for Paramount. Let's see. You probably need maybe they don't have this one. Okay, so not all of them. The reason is it is a requirement for a majority of jobs. Not all of them. Some of them say no, you don't need that. Others do say you need that, but it's a key, right? 4-year bachelor degree is preferred, right? It's right here. So if you have 5 years and a bachelor's degree, you're hurting yourself by not putting it at the top. Because remember, you're not trying to show why you're amazing, you're the best of the best, you're crazy amazing. You're just trying to show that you meet the qualifications, and in this case, education is one. So if they just see the education, all they're going to check, all they need to see is BS in computer science, graduated. That's it. That's all. We're good. And then they can move on to the other keywords, because that is a qualification that they're going to be looking for. And burying it means they may miss it. So that's all. It is a qualification for a majority of jobs. And you want to make sure it's there, because we're not showing why we're amazing. We're showing that we have the minimum qualifications to an interview. And in some cases, that requires a degree. So it's quick, it's easy, it's up top, and then you're done with it, and then they know, right? That's it. You're check marking it. Okay, because I have an experience in education, but CPA license and header. Yeah, again, I think if you did not have the CPA license, you would probably want to do that. But again, like CPA sort of implies it, so as long as you have the CPA up, you should be good, because I think you need a degree to get a CPA. Which hopefully they know, but maybe they don't. Also, this person, again, they put their full information, so give me a second. Every single time. All right. Full contact. Okay. And did they dox themselves in any other way? No, just this. So, and okay. All right, what are they? They are in Europe? I don't know Europe. Oh, first time looking. Okay. Ow. Okay, whatever. I mean, I don't really know the difference between the Europe's one. I don't know. I'm not a European recruiter. Maybe I will be one day, but not right now. I don't fully know what they need in Europe. Also, where in Europe? Because I feel like maybe it's going to be different based on Germany versus, like, the UK. I'm going to guess. But I don't know Europe. I don't know. I've not recruited in Europe. I've talked to, like, 2 candidates for there. So. This is a resume review of a software engineer intern. So they are specifically looking for Europe positions, and I'll be honest, I'm not a European recruiter. Maybe I will one day, but I've never made a placement in Europe. I've helped people get jobs in Europe. My advice does translate, but it's not my primary market. So I can only base this based on the US market. I want to be clear. I don't know European market. So with that said, what we're going to be looking for is a basic knowledge of the tech stack. So we're like language, library, SQL, cloud, maybe a little AI spiced in there. Ability to work well with others, takes direction and criticism, and previous internships. So this person has a 1:75 ratio, which again is not terrible. I want to be clear. It's not great. It's a C-, but you know, it still passes. Internships are very, very competitive. That's just the nature of them. So I'm expecting this to be barely passable, but passing nonetheless. Let's see what they have. So they also put their full contact information up top, so I can't scroll down any further. I'm sorry. Or I can't scroll up any further. All right. Yeah, I don't need all of this. Again, these need to be, this entire section I think can be deleted, and you need to replace it with your education. The education needs to be at the top. For almost every individual contributor or IC or non-manager resume, your education should probably be at the top. That's just the way it is. There are some industries, but not a ton of them. So education should be switched with there. And also you have it at the very bottom, which I don't even know if people can see because they cannot scroll down that far. So then this needs to not be in bolding. There's too much bolding. Build a full stack to-do app with scalable backend. Okay, again, this is too technical. Remember, you're doing an intern. You're not here to fix a company's like entire problems. You're here to be an intern. So I'm missing some of the basics, right? Like, where's JavaScript? Where's Java, Python, etc.? I guess Node would be okay, but this needs to be here. So your formatting is way off, and this is actually really hard to read it. And I'm also missing how you worked well together with other people. I need the soft skills. You can't just say this, right? You need to show how you did it. So this is written wrong. I need you to fix it a bit, but you have a lot of keywords because everybody has keywords. I want to be clear. When you're applying for an internship, most everybody has like the tech stuff. Everybody misses how you can like actually do this. Now, multilingual is important. English and French should be up top too. That's actually very important for multilingual. So yeah, I don't know if this would pass by me, but I can see it maybe passing 1 or 2 because you do have Node, you have Angular, you have Node, you have MongoDB, you have full stack. But yeah, these are too technical. I mean, you need to lower this, right? You're an intern. You're not solving the company's entire problems. So this wouldn't pass with me. Put the bachelor's degree up top. Actually put these keywords in your projects and tell me how you worked well with others, and then we can probably fix that ratio. And stop bolding everything. Stop. Why does everybody bold it? You have bolded so much to be irrelevant. So let's go to the next resume. I hope that wasn't mean. I didn't want that to be mean. But I wanted it to be accurate. It's hard because like I don't want to be mean to them, but I want to make sure they get the knowledge. But sometimes there's a little bit of a iffy or not. Okay, I don't believe his lies. He loves bolding. I hate bolding. Everything is bolded. Everything is bolded. So much is bolded. Like, it's never like 2 things. We haven't added a minute and a half, and I'm going to try to fix my hair. See, this is the problem. Now that I know I'm allergic to this hair care product, that is what would fix this little curl that would pop up. So now I'm not quite sure if I know what to do. Because I can't use the hair care product, so my hair is going to floof out. California weather does not do well with Lee's hair, I will say. It is in a constant state of frizz. All right. What is this? What is this? What is this? This is a SDE software. What is an SDE? And I'm mainly trying to get into Fang. Everybody wants to get into Fang companies, bro. I mean, what is it? A software developer engineer? Is that what SDE is? SDE. Is that just software engineer? I think that's just software engineers, SDE. Someone in chat, I gotta confirm this, because SDE, software development engineers, as what it, nope, not sellers discretionary earnings. That's not it. SDE is called a software development engineer. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, it's a levels thing. Amazon, other thing, SDE, software development. Okay. During this ad, give me a second. I'm going to try to fix this curl. Because I can't use my hair gel anymore. I can't. I don't know what to do. Because it's not here and I can't use it. And I my hair is going to be so crazy now. Why do I have to be allergic to it? But yeah, it was definitely... do I have my hairband? I need to buy more. I'm going to get a haircut anyway before the wedding. So, but... Because this is just... This is not a style choice. Alright, so this is a software development engineer, which is essentially just a software engineer. I don't want to just do... I'm going to try to get into Fang, because Fang... doesn't quite... I don't know, man. Like, it doesn't quite... They have very specific things, and I'm not a Fang recruiter. Like, I've recruited for Fortune 500 companies before in IT, but anyway, I'll be right back. Let me try to use a different hair gel. Okay. See? I tried something else. Let's see if it sticks. This person is a 1 to 75? I mean, I don't know, Fang. Why do people... I mean, I wish they would be like, oh, this is a recruiter. He knows what Fang is. I'm like, yeah, I know what Fang is, but I don't know their individual recruiting process. Because they're so big, they function you know, this. I need to save this for the video. This is a video. That is a video rant. Okay. This is a resume review of a software development engineer. They said SDE too, but that's apparently specifically for Fang, which I wanted to talk about real quick because I keep... This person's like, I want to get into Fang especially. I've not recruited for Fang. I have recruited for multiple Fortune 500 companies, like I think actually multiple Fortune 100 companies, but not Fang. And Fang in particular has a very different style of what they want because they have a very, like, a stranglehold on the niche of software developers. So I don't know specifically how to get into Fang. I know generalized stuff. I can help you with a bunch of other companies, Fortune 100 companies, but I'm not a Fang recruiter. I've never recruited for Fang or whatever it's called now. I know of it, obviously, but yeah. So I can't give you the exact advice to get into Fang. I want to be clear. I can give you advice to get into a lot of other stuff. So with saying that, you said you're an SDE too, which the rest of the market just calls a software engineer. I also would caution against using 1, 2, 3, 4 in your resumes. This goes for everybody because what a level 3 at company 1 is a level 1 at company 2, right? So junior, senior, senior is fine because senior is it sort of implies something, but I would not use levels. So saying all that, this person has a 1-to-75 ratio, so it's not bad. I know you're trying to get, and you said you're in India and you're trying to get into Fang companies, but first off, make sure you're legally able to, but I don't know enough about you to know if that's the case or how Fang does that kind of stuff. So what we're going to be looking for is, again, I don't know, because a back-end software engineer, a front-end software engineer, a full-stack software engineer are all going to have different keywords. Formatting-wise, this actually isn't terrible. I don't think, there's definitely some improvements for sure you can make. Like, this doesn't need to be bolded and this doesn't need to be bolded, but overall this is an okay formatting. I prefer mine, but whatever, this works. So all of this should not be bolded though. There's way too much bolding. But spearheaded the recreation of our legacy model, the abstract and core engine, into an event-driven microservice handle plus data scale. This should be one bullet point. Also, it's okay. You can fix this by employing AWS for surface filing, AWS faster Python, throttling, leveraging functional programming. I mean, these are okay bullet points. They kind of have what I want, but they're weird. But you have too many. There's way too much here. You need to combine this and shrink it. Like that. Like instead of spearheaded our legacy applications engine using AWS. Python, I think, and TypeScript, so that's fine. That's what I would like to see, but I don't also see SQL. This is kind of hard as hell to read, I'll be honest, but you do have some of the right keywords. But please stop bolding everything. People need to stop bolding everything. It makes it hard to read. Yeah, so your formatting is off. I actually think that when you fix the bullet points and you combine them, they're going to be pretty good. OpenAI, OpenShift. Again, this is not how I want you to write every single bullet point needs to be one sentence. It can be a run-on sentence. It can be a long sentence. It can be an awkward sentence, but it needs to be a single sentence. This is honestly like 12 bullet points for a job you've been at for about 2 years. That's way too much. And then this one is also like 18 bullet points. I want between, on average, 5 to 7 bullet points per position. So... yeah. See, this is great, too. I actually liked this. So I think this is a good bullet point. But these need to be combined. Do you have the stuff? Yeah, again, this is like a C-. I can definitely see how this can pass. Because you do have the keywords. They're just, its formatting is making it really difficult to read. And there's a lot of extraneous stuff. I also don't fully know what I think you are full stack. This does actually kind of read like full stack. So I think that's good. But yeah, there's so much here. You over-engineered it. And then your certificate should actually be under your education as well. So, technical skills, don't need it. Projects, no one's even going to go this far down. You have way too much. So yeah, you need to condense this. I need this to be more agile. I have to say that. But yeah, there's too much here. There's too much bolding. The formatting is a little off, which is easy to fix. But there's just so much that you can miss it. And remember, we're not trying to see that you are the best of the best. We're just seeing that you meet the minimum qualifications for an interview, at least in Fortune 500 companies. I don't know how Fang does it. I want to be clear. Fang may be like, hey, this is a perfect resume for Fang. Also, you need to showcase that you jumped across a pit of boiling lava. I don't know. I've not recruited for Fang. But for the rest of the Fortune 100 companies and 500 companies, this would be C minus, and we need to make it better. So let's go to the next resume. I feel like you need to focus on leak code more so than the resume. Maybe. And the fact is, I'm not qualified to determine leak code. So, which is the problem with that buggy, is I don't know how to leet. I don't know how to leet. I can type leet speech sometimes. I used to be able to. I was super into that as a teenager. I used to type everything into leet speech. I used to do that all the time, and I loved it. Which was not a teenager anymore, so don't do that. But yeah, let me make sure those. Let me make sure those companies. So Fortune 100, Caterpillar. Are they still there? They may have been a Fortune 5. Oh, Caterpillar. Come on, AI. Yeah, 73. Okay. And then is Agilent. I think Agilent's a Fortune 100 as well. Fortune. Oh, Fortune 500, I think. So yeah, but I've worked in Fortune 100 and Fortune 500. I hate it, but it was like 30% of Indeed interview process, and Indeed's not Fang. I couldn't imagine how hard it is for actual Fang. Yeah. I mean, it's a different entire process. That's why people I want to get into Fang. It's like, Fang isn't even Fang anymore, right? Like, it's not Facebook, it's Meta. Apple is fine. No, Amazon is now... No, Amazon's kept the same name. Netflix, is Netflix still a part of the Fang? I don't... I assume, because they're still the biggest. Yeah, and then there's Google, which is now is still good. But yeah, it's manga, right? Manga? So like Japanese comic books is now what people want to get into. Which I also was huge. I guess I'm still into that. I haven't really read a manga in a while. Okay, what is next? We have a quantitative. There's so much quant. Is quant popular? Developer intern. Okay, I still didn't apply to any job, but I need some review because I would like to apply for finance jobs. I'm a French student. My objective is to work in the U.S. For the school part, is practicing the exchange semester good or not? Do I need to add in? Oh my God, there's so much here that I'm not. I don't deal with that. My person. I don't deal with that. All right, let me. Do I have quant? Did I save quant? I hope I saved quant. I didn't. All right, we're gonna have to go find some quantitative stuff. But they did say intern, so. Quant developer intern. Let's just do intern. Is it quantitative trading intern? Okay, here we go. We have blah blah blah. Okay, so these are actually stuff that we're looking for. Good. And this is quant intern. I'm just gonna put quantitative intern. Did I spell it right? Quantitative. I did. I feel proud of myself. I spelled it right. All right. What the hell are they going to be doing? We have a BA. That makes sense. Interns need the BA. BA. We want, or MS. Whatever. Your degree. I never did interns because I was a psych student. And I didn't do any interns, so I wonder what internships for psych students are. Because, you can't really do anything as a bachelor's in psychology. You need a master's or doctorate before you can really do anything. So, I don't know if bachelors in psych actually have internships. The more I'm saying that. Masters do. But... let's see. Complex to simple topics. Explain complex to simple. Explain complex to simple That almost reads like an insult. And then work as a team, take criticism. Quantitative research. Did they want a research? I don't know what the difference between these is. A traitor. You traitor. Quantitative research, the equivalent of that. Well, there's a couple of interns here. So, they do want math stats. That's fine. Demonstrate markets. I think markets, finance, and trading. Okay, this is non-technical stakeholders, a little nice little bit simpleton. Yes. I would not also be customers too. Because like non-technical stakeholders could be considered customers-ish. But yes, I agree with you. Physical presence is on site. Okay. Firm discover industry, student close rate internships. Prefer quantitative in research. I'm just going to look for one more, but this seems to be popular, so I'm going to add it to my list. Campus quantitative trader. I keep saying traitor, not trader. Like this, they want an intern that will betray them. Yeah, these seem... Financial markets seems to be the key word that we're looking for. Finance markets, particularly finance markets. All right, I think that's good. I don't think I'm really missing anything else here. All right, did this person put their full name? Hopefully not. Also, I forgot to mark the previous video. Episode 100. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Episode 100 of Resume Reviews. I should have done something spectacular for it, but I completely forgot. Okay. All right. That's good. That's a good. And away we go. This is a resume review of a quantitative trader / developer intern. So, this person is looking to move from France to the United States for an internship. The answer to that is you need to make sure you're legally able to do that. That is beyond me. I've not worked on that kind of transfer before for an internship. So, you need the ability to do that first, which I don't know what that would be. They also were asking for the school part is precising the... I don't actually know what you mean by precising the exchange semester. And do you add in a separate section in my lab involvement or school, or is it good enough with projects? Well, we'll see about that. And I'm really not satisfied with X years experience in my resume, so I want to know if okay not to put it. You don't need X years of experience, but yeah. All right, so there's a lot there that I might not actually be qualified to answer, unfortunately. So that is the problem with being an expert, is everybody thinks you are an expert in every single aspect, and that is unfortunately not the case. So what we're going to be looking for, at least based on the resumes that I've seen for a quantitative intern, is specifically the trader, not trader, they don't want their intern to betray them, but like TRADER, over research is you want your BA or MS, you want to have math, stats, or Python was good. You want to be able to explain complex topics in a simple manner to people. You want to be able to work as a team and take criticism. You want the words markets, finance, trading, and in particular finance markets. So those are the keywords we're looking for. So with all that, let's begin. Oh, their ratio is unknown because they haven't started yet. So education. This is okay. Actually, I think this is okay. But the problem with this is if you're applying to the US is I don't know the equivalency of what this would be. So the problem with this is I don't know what an ISEP equivalent would be. If I am a US recruiter, what you need to show is that a bachelor's? Is that a master's? I don't know because that doesn't translate. I don't know what ISEP is. Paris Institute of Digital Tech. No, I don't know what ISEP is. I need a bachelor's or a master's. That's what I'm going to understand. Anything else is not in the United States. Yeah, and then we have experience. Again, I don't know what ISEP is. That is something that is very particular to French, I guess, and I have no idea what the heck that is. So, engineered automated solutions for external clients, including a system to follow technical documentations. that's not exactly what I'd be looking for. Gemini API on Python. This is okay because it shows Python. Rigorous data. Okay. So, yeah, none of this would be what I'm looking for except for Python, and even Python was like a bonus. The thing that I'm really going to be looking for is that you, like, I get you at external clients, but, like, what did you do? Did you explain it? Like, as a quant intern, you're still going to be a subject matter expert. I need you to act like a subject matter expert. How did you explain those technical topics? I don't know because you did not tell me. And let's go to projects. Conducted a time series analysis of Bitcoin, personal trading experience. That's fine. Identifying patterns in price. This seems to be what they're going to be looking for a quant trader. So that seems good. Develop algorithms, candle body ratios. This is too complicated. You're going to have to dumb it down for me. Designed a trading strategy. That's good. Engineered a PTAP. I don't know what that is. And I'm just skimming this. Yeah, this is a... how did you work well with others, right? Like, how did... Okay, so here's the problem. You got some of the technical stuff right. The issue is, almost everybody's got the technical stuff right. They all teach you kind of the same thing. I need to know, how did you explain this stuff to me? I don't see that. I am a recruiter. I am not a statistical, quantitative recruiter. I need you to say... make this make sense to me, and you do not do that. I am going to one day ask, hey, French citizen, number 12, that sounded insulting. I don't like that at all. Hey, person whose resume you just submitted, I have a question. I don't know what this means. You need to explain it to me. What is a candlestick patterns on wick to body ratios? Actually, no, that one makes sense. What is, let's see, what is a reversal and continuation trends? I don't know. You need to explain that to me. I need you to show that you can work on a team. I need to know that you can explain complex topics to dummies like me that I don't even understand. I can barely do algebra. All right, I passed with a prayer in my math things, and you need to explain this stuff to me, and you didn't. This is entirely focused on the technical aspects and not the fact that you are a subject matter expert even as an intern. So that is what I'm going to need. I'm going to need way more of that. Would this pass? Probably not. And again, I don't know how you can get interns in the United States directly from Paris. Hopefully your school has a way to do that. That is beyond my knowledge. I know that once you have the work experience of how that would work, but specifically for that kind of stuff is beyond me. So let's go to the next resume. What is this, like, what the hell? New clip, do you need a degree to be a developer? Oh, wait a minute. Is this my own bot? Did this actually give me my own bot? This might actually be my own bot. Yes, this is actually my own bot. So I tried doing this thing that, that looks horrible. But okay, I don't want people to see that. That is a bot for me. Can I mute my own bot? Okay, whatever. Yeah, so there was there was an AI tool that I saw, which was essentially, it would auto clip the stuff you did from your stream. So that is what that Save GG bot is. I don't know if those work as clips because, again, my content is a little bit different than everybody else because I had to be weird. But I was testing that out, so. Because, like, how do you clip this stuff? So that's a thing that I will deal with later. No one needs to pay attention to that. That's actually... I want to mute it, though. I don't want people to see it. Can I, like, only have it visible to me? I don't think I can. Interesting. Okay, whatever. That's a thing I'll work on later. Nobody else needs to deal with that. So, anyway, those were clips that it decided to save. I don't know if they were good clips or not. Probably not. But we'll find out. Nope, that is 104. Brain, work. All right. Yeah, that thing was so giving me a headache. Because now I can actually focus. This is not my... I hate this. I hate the fact that that hair gel was doing that. All right. That one's good. DevOps engineer is next. need to check my email very quickly. Boo, it's not here yet. Okay, and keywords, DevOps engineer. Wait, was this a DevOps engineer or DevOps? DevOps engineer, which is slightly different than normal DevOps. I hate how that's the case. All right, keywords are this. What did this person say? Been scared of the state of the industry and wanted to brush off my resume. Started my search about a month ago. Just came across your channel. I think you stated bolding is bad, but here's the resume sending out. The resume in the PNG format so that I could... Okay. Got it. Okay, that's fair. 1 of 50 if there are no replies. Okay, so they haven't gotten any replies. Okay, so at least they told me this is in JPEG format. This looks awful. This looks absolutely awful. Oh, God, this hurts my eyes. Is this because it was a JPEG and I had to move it? Oh, my God. Okay. Is that hard for anybody else to read? I don't know. I feel like it's, like, faded out. All right, let's... This is the last resume of this video, which is also my 100th video. Yay! I didn't even realize it until now because I forgot. But this is a DevOps engineer. They've had a no ratio essentially yet. They don't know yet. They just started sending it out. They've got no replies yet. They've only sent 50, so probably not very good. It's also was a JPEG, but that was just to scrub the information, so that was fine. Otherwise, they know not to send it as a JPEG. Let's see. So we are going to be looking for a DevOps engineer, which is different than DevOps because they're all different, is CI pipelines, DevOps, SQL, cloud, multitasking, multiple projects, Python, Bash, Ruby, PowerShell, Jenkins, GitLab, CI/CD, Azure, Azure DevOps, infrastructure as code, IAC, and tools such as Terraform, CloudFormation, Ansible, and Kubernetes. Those are what we're going to look for. So, let's begin. This is a nightmare to see. So I don't know if this was just the JPEG process that messed it up, but this looks very faded. And it's kind of hard for me to read this. I think it might be hard for people at home too. So I may have to like mess up the format and look at this. So I will say something about this is off, and I don't know if this is because you copied it to a JPEG before sending it to me and I had to copy it back to a PDF, but please use just normal black and white. All right, there's a reason I have my formatting. My formatting is below. It's on my website. It's this. This is what I want. This is easy to read. This is a nightmare to read. And when you are reading 100 resumes in an hour and a half, you can miss stuff if it's hard to read. So the formatting's off. I don't care about a technical skills section. Again, technical skill sections are not usually needed. This can be up top, which I don't know if you need your GPA anymore. You've been out of school for 3 years, but you should have your education up top. That should have replaced this. Make the whole thing black and white. Please, 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 please make it black and white. If you are a U.S. citizen or green card holder and you're applying to the U.S., you should put U.S. citizen in and then put the exact state you are in. City and state. That's all you need to do. You don't need to do address or anything. So, utilized. Okay, no, this is not good because you didn't tell me how you use them. All right, what I want to know is how you use these things. Manage customer-facing deployments. That's actually good. Using Docker. Is Docker one of them? Probably not, but Terraform is. While leveraging, I hate the word leveraging. ServiceNow, not one. Wrote Python scripts. That's good. I guess if Python is a thing, Docker would probably be a thing. Manual developer. Reduce build. It's seriously so hard for me to read this, y'all. I'm like up here. I know I have bad eyes and I'm old, but like not this old. Scaling, iteration. Again, you're missing a lot of keywords here. So not only is it hard to read, you're missing a lot of the keywords. Because I think I only found... What the hell did I even find? Python and Terraform. Where is this? Where's the DevOps? You're applying for DevOps. Where's the DevOps? I need you to literally put DevOps on there. Where's the cloud? I don't see cloud. Again, this doesn't count because you didn't put how you did it. It's what, hi, wow. What, hi, wow. What, how, why is the format you need to follow. This doesn't count. I need to know how you did it. You cannot just list out your skills. Let's see, SaaS, nah. Security level, no. Okay, yeah, so I'm missing so many keywords. Maybe they're going to be here. Kubernetes is one, and that's it. Yeah, you have like no keywords. You need to redo this from scratch, quite frankly. There's like only a couple of key things that I would salvage. I need specifically DevOps. Look, I know that sounds weird, but when you're doing DevOps, I need you to show me that you have DevOps. I need you to say DevOps, because DevOps is kind of weird like that. I need to see the cloud. I need to see how you used it. This doesn't count. That doesn't count. I need to see how you used it. What, how, why. All right? With the exception of the first bullet point in each job, which in this case, this shouldn't even be a how, what, why. This should be a summary of your duties, right? You should say DevOps engineer for our AWS potato that where I did X and Y with customer facing. So that the bullet points are weird. They don't have what I want, and they're kind of written weird too. Like, I don't know if you used AI or not. Maybe you didn't, but it kind of reads like you did. And maybe you didn't, but it GitOps. Yeah, it just sounds so weird. So there's not enough detail. There's not enough keywords. The formatting's off. This would definitely not pass. This is the reason why you're having trouble getting this. Yes, the market is bad, but I feel like you shouldn't have that much of a problem with this. I think you could, if you do all these changes, I think we get this like a 1 in 30, 1 in 25 or less, right? So, because actually right here is the key thing. You got this job right when the market crashed. This was a job that you got right before the big crash. Technically, it was slowly doing it beforehand, but people didn't really realize it until then. So now the job market is radically different from when you got this, and this resume would not succeed. I don't see DevOps. I don't see GitLab. I don't see cloud. I don't see PowerShell. I don't see SQL. I don't see infrastructure as code. I don't see CI/CD. I think maybe I saw Kubernetes, but yeah. So you need to take a look at these keywords, make sure they have this in them, add the word DevOps, and redo this. What the keyword is, how you used it, why you used it. And the first bullet point under each job needs to be a summary of your duties so that I can understand it. So I don't want to end the video on a sad note, but yeah, this definitely does not pass. Thank you all for watching for 100 videos. That's really awesome. Yeah. And if you need more help, please join my live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. PST, and like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. The algorithm, I don't understand it, but I know that if you like, comment, and subscribe, it helps more people. So yeah, I look forward to doing another 100 videos of these and more. I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, that was so hard to read. Oh, crud. We got another full contact info. Give me a second. Yep, full contact info. And down here, let's go up there. And then we have an ad in a couple of seconds anyway, so I need to take a small break after I need to go refill my water bottle after this ad. Or during the ad. That is the words that I should have said, is during the ad. There we go. All right. That is good. That is good. And then let's do the ad real quick, because that way I can go refill the water. It's going to do it? Is it going to do it? All right. I will be right back. Give me a second. Let me know if this is actually showing up at the mic. If it's... I don't think it is. Okay. Data scientist. It's been a while since we did a data scientist. Oh my gosh. There we go. I think it's gone. There was a smudge on my glasses that I couldn't get away. And what am I looking for? Man, my mind is gone today. This is a Monday that feels like a Friday. Oop, you know? All right, so data scientist, which is here. Does anybody else think this Monday feels like a Friday? This has a real middle of the week energy. Okay. That's good, that's good, that's good. And what did they tell me about this? Resume. I'm trying to change my job. I want to keep working data, but preferably within finance. Okay. This is a resume review of a data scientist. So this person has a ratio of 100 applications to 1 interview, which is not good. That's a bad resume, so I'm expecting this to not be good at all. But maybe with like 1 or 2 things that could be moved forward, because it's not 150 plus to 1. So what we're going to be looking for as a data scientist is R or Python, SQL, Cloud, Machine Learning, AI, Pandas, NumPy, scikit-learn, or skibbity-learn, whatever, modeling, hypothesis testing, and experimental design, visualization tools such as Cassandra, Hadoop, Spark, Tableau, CI/CD, and the ability to explain complex topics to non-technical stakeholders. All right, that was a lot, but that is what we are looking for. And if y'all like this stuff, please join me on my live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST. That's where I do these reviews and record them. You can ask me any questions as well. That's sort of my office hours for questions, which I can get into better detail than the YouTube questions. But be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's see how this resume is. This is a nightmare. Oh my god. There is so much here. This is not good. Also, I cannot scroll up because this person doxed themselves. So, it's the only thing I can show. Please scrub your data when you're sending it to me. Profile, don't care. Don't care. Technical skills, don't care. This entire section can be deleted. Your education is at the very bottom. That should be up top instead. Also, please stop bolding everything. This right here, I know this looks crazy. This is the format. This is the only thing I want bolded. I want your first and last name bolded. I want the education and certificates bolded. Not under them, just the actual title. The work history and project section bolded. Not everything else, just the section. That's it. So, formatting-wise, this really fails. And again, there's so much blob here that this just doesn't work. The thing I want the most as a recruiter is this. This is the star of your resume. Doesn't matter what you're doing, your bullet points are the key. All right, they are what I want to see the most. So maybe these bullet points, while formatted bad, are actually good. Let's see. Optimize financial planning, risk management, integrating predictive models. Models is one-ish. Into Tableau, good. ETL isn't one. Data-driven decisions. This is 2.5. Develop and deploy generated AI and LPIs of your interaction with PDF or data retrieval direct queries. I don't think there's anything here. Also, this is 2 sentences. This should be 1 sentence. Every bullet point needs to be a singular sentence. There should be no commas, or not. There should be only 1 period in each bullet point. So, is there anything here that I could use? Kind of with AI, but there's a lot of wasted space. Yeah, I don't care about this. Python is good though. Python and Power BI. Yeah, that's okay. This is good. This should actually probably be your first sentence. But here's the thing. You bolded all of the wrong stuff. I don't care about optimized and risk management for billions. I care about Tableau. I care about ETL. Stop bolding everything. Everybody bolds everything. It makes your resume so much worse. Just don't bold. If you have to decide, should I or should I not bold, just don't bold. Stop bolding. Stop. Makes it so much worse. Yeah, this is hard to read. Just seriously, unbold everything in this section. But there are a couple of keywords here that I would be looking for. Truthfully, what you really need to do is simplify it. A couple of these don't have anything, and you can kind of shrink it down, because I only really saw like 6 or 7, which is okay, but I'd want a little bit more. And really, this is a phenomenal bullet point, but it's all the way at the bottom. Data safe forwarding, analytic processing, Python, SQL, good. Leveraging ETL, stop using, I don't like leveraging, but whatever. Generated, again, I don't care. ML models are okay. Tableau for data, yeah. You're just missing a couple of stuff, but I can see how you can get 1 or 2 interviews. It's just that this is written in such a confusing manner. You've over-engineered it. You have so many percentage increase. I don't care. I want to be very clear with the people here. I don't care if you're... It's going to sound weird. I don't care if you're good. I care that you meet the minimum qualifications. And there's a world of difference between the two. Now, sometimes you can see skill from a resume, but really a resume is based on showing the minimum qualifications. So I don't care if enhanced project commitment accuracy by 17% through logistics regression. I don't know what the hell that means. I don't know why that's important, and the recruiter probably doesn't either. I need the keywords, all right? Like, seriously, if you unbolded everything and you deleted this and you put your education up top, you would probably have like a 1 in 60, maybe 1 in 50 ratio. But yeah, this is giving me a headache. I can't read this anymore. But essentially, this is a bad formatting, and your bullet points are mid. They're not the worst ever, but they could definitely be better. So fix up the bullet points, tighten them up, be more accurate with the keywords that we're going to be looking for. And you do that, you fix the formatting, I think you stand a very good chance at getting a much higher interview ratio. Next, resume. Very specific. Yeah, I know. I just like, it's so loud. Oh. All right. Okay, that was 101. This is a data engineer. Oh. Nope, needed to turn over. Bear just went and then like rolled over. And now he's looking at me like I did something wrong. Bear. Okay, you're tired, buddy. Oh, nope. You're getting here. Come on. You get your pets. I do love you. I know. Dad's paying attention to the people on the computer and not you. It's a travesty. It's not like I spent hours petting you yesterday. You know I spend so much time with you. I know it's not 100%, but I love my old man. Yes, I do. I love you. Okay. Did this person dox themselves? No. That person didn't. Okay. And then again, just reminding everybody, I'm not going to be here this Friday because I have a friend's wedding. And then in a month, I'm going to have my own wedding. But which actually, I might be able to do that on the day I'm getting married. We'll see. It's not our wedding, to be clear. Like, it's we're gonna go to like have a small event and then go to a kind of like a bar thing, and it'll be fun. I'm not huge into bars, but this one looked kind of interesting. They had cool barbecue, so because I don't drink, so. Which I know people are like, how do you do that? And I'm like, I just don't. All right, what did this person say? What did you say to me? Can you tell me whether I need to put internship or full-time experience first in the work experience in the sections enough for any money? Okay. That was a little confusing, but and away we go. This is a resume review of a data engineer, which is different than a data scientist, which is different than there's a ton of different stuff. So what we're going to be looking for in a data engineer is Python, Rust, Scala, data, algorithm, system design, CDLC. I might have written that wrong. It might have been, but whatever, CDLC, SQL, big data, especially Spark. I saw Spark in a lot of places. Cloud, ETL, Microsoft BI, Tableau, Looker, and the ability to manage and communicate data warehouse plans to non-technical. This shouldn't just be data warehouse. They should communicate plans to non-technical. This is a huge thing. I want to be very clear. Like, a lot of them are missing this. But actually, the previous resume did have it, which was a huge bonus. Is I need to know that you're able to tell me what this stuff means, because we don't know. We rely on you to explain it. And not a lot of people have that. So, this person has a 150-to-1 ratio, which is not good. So they wanted to know if what I need to change, and the chances are probably a lot of it. Although formatting-wise, this seems okay. You don't need this giant line. I want to be clear. I don't know why there's a giant line between there. If you are a U.S. citizen and you are applying to the U.S., you really should put U.S. citizen or green card holder in, and then put your city and state instead. So, education, ABC University, MS. You should put MS first, then the college, and then this stuff can be here. I don't know if Fabric Analytics is needed, but Azure might be. So, I don't know if you need to keep this or not. That's a little more technical than I know, but let's see if you have the keywords. Developed a POC for migrating data from Azure, there is cloud, to Microsoft Fabrics. Okay, is implementing Medallion after the Fabric PySpark. No. Created Power BI, that's 2. For stakeholders, this is okay, actually. So that's 3. Perform quality testing and migrated procedure to Azure SQL, 4. So here's the problem. You have 4 bullet points and only 4 keywords that I'm looking for. And there's a lot. The problem with this is you put a lot of extra stuff here that it's possible they're going to miss the actual keywords they're looking for. This needs to be rewritten. I'm not a fan of how you wrote these. Because I don't know what a POC migrating data is. This is too technical. The person reading your resume first is not technical. All right, I know that is a lot of comments I get in YouTube where they're like, how could you do this when you don't know the industry? It's like, that's unfortunately part of the recruiter's job, and they're not going to understand all of that. I see Power BI, I see Azure, I see SQL, and I see kind of reporting accuracy for stakeholders and decision making. I think it could be better, but I'm missing Rust, Scala, data, algorithms, system design, CDLC, big data, and a bunch of other stuff like Tableau and Looker. So there's not a ton here. Also, this is an internship. And then you went to this. Oh, I see. This was out. Okay, I get it. So the problem with this is if you're applying in the United States, and this is not really fair, but they only really count stuff that you did in the place you're applying to. So if you did stuff outside the United States, this may not even be there. Although now that I'm looking at this, I only really see like 2 keywords maybe, which was SQL and something else. So I think you could even safely delete this, truthfully. Because there's nothing here I'd really be looking for anyway. even if they do count it, which hopefully they do, but sometimes they don't. So yeah, and then academic products, again, there's nothing here I need, nothing here I need, nothing here I need. And then the very bottom, which people can't even see, actually, there's an academic section, which is, again, nothing I need. So yeah, you have 4 or 5 keywords out of all of this, and the rest of this is kind of wasted space. Formatting wise, it's okay. But again, I would rather a resume have bad formatting than have bad bullet points, and that's kind of what this is. So you're not getting any positions because I don't see what I need. I see like 4 things in the first fold bullet points, and that's it. I need you to make it clearer. I need you to add more bullet points, and maybe then put your projects under that instead of this. Because again, I don't know if they're going to count this or not. Some do, some don't. However fair that is. So this definitely doesn't work. Formatting is okay. You really don't need to fix much. It's just the lines in between here and here. But the bullet points need work. Unfortunately, a lot of work. So let's go to the next resume. Each component of the bullet point matters. What, how, wow, and none of them deserve to be bolded. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. They all matter, but they shouldn't be bolded. Wow, I might actually run out of resumes. Let's see. I'm knocking through these, and my last videos have not done well. So we are at 267 out of 292. So yeah, we got like 23 left. So I'll probably get through maybe 4 or 5 today, and then more. I got to do some marketing. Shocking that I might actually run out by next week. Okay, that one's good. We had 102, which was this one. Now we're 103. And what the hell is this? This is a front-end dev. Okay. I sent a previous edition, which I believe, because of all the bullying, was hard to read and understand. At the moment, I'm looking for front-end jobs as you learn back-end. Okay, that's fine. Okay. This is a resume review of a front-end developer. So the ratio is really bad. They sent in a previous edition that had a lot of bolding, so they basically unbolded it. But yeah, what we're going to be looking for, yeah, this is a 150 to 1 ratio, which is not good. You never want 150 apps to 1 interview. At the most, you should be getting, if you're not getting at a minimum 50 to 75 per application sent per interview, you're doing something wrong. So what we're going to be looking for a front-end dev is JavaScript, React, AngularJS, HTML, CSS, PHP, sometimes PHP, SQL, Scrum, Agile, RESTful APIs, SEOs, WordPress, Git, Docker, Jira, Vue, Next, and a bonus is any extra language, Cloud, UI, UX, SASS, and TypeScript. Those are bonuses, so if you have them, it's good. But I'm still expecting, if this is the one that's getting 150, to not have a lot. So, develop data attachment using JavaScript. Here's the problem. There's 2 keywords I'm looking for here. That's it. That's only 2. Again, the GitHub, I say Git, not GitHub. Are they the same? Maybe. Does the recruiter know? Who knows? That's why you need Git. And UI is a bonus, but we still need the rest of them. Here, there's only JavaScript, and UI. Oh, and CSS. Okay, so you have 3. I need more. Also, this is formatted weird. This shouldn't be bolded. There shouldn't be a line here. But yeah, I need more. They're gonna ask for more. React, TypeScript, Chakra UI, okay, UI, UX, API. There's just not enough here, right? Like I need more. I absolutely need more. The market in the US, I know this is the United Kingdoms. I don't know London's market very well, but from what I understand, it's also bad for software engineers. I need more. I need more than this. You're on the right track, but I don't know what a feature risk task management app is. I need to know, develop a task management app using JavaScript, HTML, CSS, which did X and Y. I don't know what solid principles or OOP is. Again, the OOP can be a keyword, but not for front end, because this is not what I'd be looking for. Style the UI and CSS and optimize performance. Why did you do that? Deployed GitHub pages for live access, built in React. This is an okay one. UX, again, that is a bonus. UI, UX is a bonus, not necessary. API is okay, but yeah, I'm just missing so much stuff. And these bullet points just don't have a lot of stuff on it. So, and here's a question. You say university project. Are you still in school? Because if you're still in school, you should put that up here. Because this just looks like you graduated high school and that's it. Actually, what is a higher diploma? I actually don't know what that is. But... And here we go. TypeScript. Developed a Next and React-based front end with TypeScript. This is the stuff I'm looking for right here. Why do I have to scroll all the way down to find it? This is the stuff I want. I want this. All right. I want API. This is written well. Most of these are written well. You're just missing a lot of keywords and they're not written enough. I need the what, how, why. What you did, which is the keyword. How you used it, which you can include other keywords in. And why you did it. And I'm just not seeing it. And I will say, if you don't have a CS degree, and you just did a higher diploma, which I don't know, it's going to be harder for you. CS degrees like reduce your ratio by like 25. So where a C minus CS graduate resume would get a 1 in 75, you would get 1 in 100 because of that. So yeah, this still needs to be fixed. There's more that you can do. I need more in the bullet points. I think you need to come on and then ask me on the live stream, like, hey, Lee, what do I do with X and Y? Because there's just not enough here. I just don't see it. And you are heavily competing. This is a crowded job market. You're not just competing against like 3 people. You're competing against hundreds. It's very tough. I want to make sure you understand that you are on a very uphill battle even before you hit apply. So you absolutely need to make sure you apply as early as you can. You need to have more of these keywords in, and you need to write these sentences better. And I don't care about the date for the projects. Dates for projects are not really that important. But you have to tell me why it's important, why it was impressive. So I'm going to need more. This is not going to fly. Just because of the competition. This would apply at least this would fly in the United States at least in maybe like 2018, give or take. Like, I could see how this could work, but it's a different market. It sucks now, and you gotta fix it for that. It goes for almost everybody. It's just a bad market. The job market may be 200 job markets combined into a trench coat, but overall, it sucks. Most things are down. So let's go to the next resume. Hey, Sleepy Hazel, how you doing? How goes it? Good. Oh, what did I do? All right. Developing project right now so I can print my resume. Good. Yeah, I got so much to do after this stream. I have to apply to a lot of stuff. Not apply to a lot of stuff. I have to... So there's a procurement, which is essentially where I have to fill in a bunch of contracts, work with the like government. So the state government, and there's so much paperwork I have to do for it. So, especially with all the chaos right now, that's not helping. So, but if anybody in the government needs recruiting services, I am doing the paperwork so that I could actually recruit for that. And it takes quite a bit of time. And I have a lot of paperwork to do on it. All right, we have an ad in like a couple of minutes. This stream is sponsored by Cheetos. It's not. I wish I could be sponsored by Cheetos. Giga Chad Cheetos, yes. I think I like Doritos more, though. I mean, they're all made by the same company, I think, right? Frito-Lays, I think. So. But yeah, I like Doritos better. I'm trying to think of my favorite chip or snack. Bear, what's your favorite? Are you tired? Oh, good stretch, baby boy. Come here, come here. I got like 2 minutes before an ad. I need to pet you. You're not going to move? He just moved his leg. He's a sleepy puppy. I mean, not a puppy. He's an old man. This is an old dog. He's turning 11 this year. There you go. This is actually very uncomfortable, Bear. For me. I know you like it because I'm getting you pets, but I have to like lean over awkwardly. Yeah, he does need treats to move. He does not move unless for treats. Or he hears the door open or something else. Yeah, I stayed up a little late last night, and I think he didn't get to sleep as much. Are you tired, baby boy? I know. I'm a night owl. I'm sorry. So, I've always been a night owl. Like, I don't know why. Like, even as a kid, I could not fall asleep until, like, 11. So, alright. We got a minute left. I hate this, like, I can't start until the ad's done. So we just have to sit here and wait. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I know there's a bunch of cool things happening with Twitch where other people can get it, even if they're not brained. Whatever. So, and I'm not on that. I don't know. I'm like, I guess that's good. There's always like drama happening with stuff, and like in my life, I'm like, there's drama. I'm gonna go the other way. That is not what I'm gonna be about. I run from it, which maybe is not always healthy. I don't know. Okay, so we got like a minute. I have to use the restroom anyway. Okay, so I think it's happening in a couple of seconds. I will be right back. Need to use the restroom, and I'll be back from the ad. It better. Let me know if the ad doesn't actually appear, and I'll be very upset. Okay, you don't have to move, buddy. All right. I am back. I am back. But the ad isn't. Ooh, ad. Amitriptyline. Oh, shoot. Gotta get more of my medications. No. All right. Where's that song from? Ba 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 ba. I know it's an anime song. Damn, I cannot even think of it. I don't know. And the ad break is almost over, and then we're gonna do this resume. And will I actually run out of resumes by Wednesday? There is a real possibility that I run out of resumes by Wednesday. I might actually run out of resumes. That is, I guess, good? Not good? I don't know. Oh, well. I can do this one, though. This is a resume review of a full-stack software developer. So, as per usual, what we're going to be looking for is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, SQL, React, API, REST, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, and a bonus will be any extra languages such as Python, C, Java, and Git. So, that is what we are going to be looking for. This person has a 1:50 ratio, which isn't bad, actually. Could be better, could be a lot worse. So, I also can't scroll past this, because again, they doxed themselves, so I'm not here to show their full information. They didn't give me anything else other than a 1:50 ratio. So we have a BE in SE from GCM. I assume that's a software engineering degree. IBM full stack developer. I don't know what that is, but at least an AWS solutions architect is okay. AWS cloud intern used AWS cloud to build scale. Cloud. It's engaged with a team of the white paper AWS document. Is this the right resume? And this doesn't read like a full stack. Is this actually the right resume? I have to check real quick. This is the right resume. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know what I'm looking at. This is not a full stack. I don't know what to tell you. There's nothing here I'd really want besides AWS for full stack. This is kind of hard to review because I don't see anything here. Maybe this is great for an AI or an AWS engineer. That might be the case, but I got nothing. Nothing here shows me that it would be a full stack dev. So I'm assuming you're getting interviews to actual AWS jobs, but yeah, there's nothing here. I don't see any of the keywords I need. I don't see TypeScript. I don't see JavaScript. I don't see Node. I don't see Angular. I don't see HTML. I don't see CSS. I don't see SQL. I don't see React. I don't see API. I don't see REST. I do see cloud. There's a hell of a lot of cloud. I don't see Agile. I don't see CI/CD. There's not much for me to do here. I guess this is working specifically. Also, this person is outside the United States. I guess this works in the area you're going for. Maybe the market's different, but in the United States, this would not pass for a full stack software engineer. But maybe you're not going for full stack software engineer. Maybe you mistyped full stack developer and you wanted something else. I don't know. I'm very confused. This resume is making me perplexed. So, yeah, I guess. The formatting is also okay. There's no real issues with the formatting I see. This there should be a space here instead of a dash, but that's it. Yeah, I don't know what to say on this one. I'm sorry, y'all. There's nothing here that says full stack. This would fail for a full stack software engineer. Would this succeed for a cloud developer? Maybe. I don't have those keywords off the top of my head. I'm looking to see if I've written those down before, and I haven't. So yeah, this will fail as a full stack dev, at least in the United States. Maybe that's not the case outside. I'd like to know more. Please in the comments tell me if you have any issues. But yeah, this would fail. It seems like a great a cloud developer, but that's not what I'd be looking for if I have a full stack job. So next resume, I don't know what to say on this one. Like, what do you say? Like, I feel like that's the hardest thing to review. Because, like, I've seen people, like, reviewing stuff, and I feel like the hardest thing is not something that is bad or that is very good, but something that is just nothing, right? Like, there's nothing here for me to grasp onto. And I don't know what to do with it. Because there's nothing, no keywords I would really be looking for a full stack. There's nothing I'd be looking for as a software engineer in general, except for AWS. But it's all AWS. It's only AWS. But this person is also not in the US, so maybe this is what they like, they want. I don't know. I don't know what people outside the US want. I want people to tell me. So, who knows? Okay. Oh, good stretch, baby boy. What are we looking for this one? iOS dev. Okay. Located in the UAE, but I spent search to US. Experience-wise, somewhere between a junior and mid. Senior, resume currently listed, but I have an internship. Okay. Currently unemployed. Getting interviews with some frequency over nothing beyond the first round. I mean, that's a case of something else, but okay. So iOS dev. Do I have iOS here? Or mobile dev, maybe? iOS? No, I don't. Okay. We're gonna have to look for this one. Alright. A mid iOS dev. I don't like people saying like mid or junior. Ah, Jesus, sorry about that, y'all. I hit the thing with my desk. Sorry for a jump scare. I don't like that because one company's junior is another company's senior. So I don't think you should really like label yourself as a junior. I think senior is okay if you believe you qualify for that, but okay, so they are in London, I think. They are in German London. Where the hell are they? They just said EU. Can I even search in the EU, or would it have to be like... Okay, I can search in the European Union. Not a lot of options. That's actually quite bad. Alright, that's not as many as I thought there would be. So let's start digging into this. I mean, I could do it for the US. Should I do this for the US? Because I think they might be expanding their search. And quite frankly, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of positions here. This is a debate, and I don't know which I'm doing. Should I... Oh, this is in Spanish. I think that's in Spanish. Or Italian? I don't know. Should I do search this via the US? Or should I search this based on the European Union? Because they did say they were looking to get into the US. I think I'm going to try to do this based on the US. And it's possible these are going to be the same anyway, because I remember doing a brief search on this before, and these were, I think, the keywords as well. So, voiceover, yeah, let's do the United States, because there's not a lot of a market here. Honestly, you know what? No, there's only twice as much. All right, let's see. Software engineer iOS app. iOS API. No, I think we do the European Union. I think we keep it in the European Union. All right, let's fix this. Nope. Everything's broken. European Union. All right, we're doing it for real this time. So, iOS developer. This is in, oh, still size. You know what? I can still look at a couple of these keywords. In fact, the only things I can read are the ones I know are keywords. And that's about it. All right, iOS, Android. So, key responsibilities, requirements, Kotlin, Java. This is a specific iOS, maybe? Let's do iOS in particular, because I don't want to... okay, there we go. Okay, ULKit, iOS, these are correct. Viper, MVVM, and MVC. That is a nightmare to read and say. I don't like any of that, and I wish it wasn't there. Mercurial, Git, APIs, and Cloud, I assume. Okay. Oh, no, so teeny. No teeny. We have Git. Was Git flow important, or was it just Git? Let's keep them. Let's keep them both. That's fair. And then we want API and Cloud, I assume. Alrighty. iOS, Swift UI. These are like the ULKit and the Swift UI is probably the most important one is Swift. Let's see. Scene Kit, Metal, iOS developer, mid-level iOS. 2.3's iOS, Swift, ULKit. Yeah, these are basically the things we're going to want. Knowledge of solid, clean artificial, and TDD are okay. And then let's do TDD and booking, marketplace, iOS, SDK, Swift, Swift UI. Yeah, those are everywhere. And I think that's okay. I think primarily this is going to be the big one right here. This is the stuff I want to see. All right. And away we... Nope, not away we go. We fix this. We fix this. It is fixed. This is a resume review of an iOS developer. They said mid-level, but we're just going to put iOS dev. They are in the European Union, so I have looked up the keywords and qualifications specifically for the EU, which in this case, it's primarily going to be these three. These three are the most important, bar none. iOS, Swift, ULKit. Anything with Swift, iOS, and ULKit, that's golden. That's what you want more than anything else. The other stuff was not in everything, so you definitely don't need all of these, such as Git, Flow, Viper, MVVM, MVC, Mercurial, Git, SVN, API, Cloud, Solid, and TDD. That is I hate saying that. This is such a tongue twister. So you need some of these, but not all of these. The main thing you want is iOS, Swift, and ULKit. This person said they are also... they get a couple of interviews. This is a 1:75 ratio. The problem is after the first interview, there always need to be someone more experienced applying to same roles. Yes. And the problem with that is that's not a resume issue. The resume's entire goal, your only purpose with the resume is to get you an interview. That is it. Once it succeeds at getting you an interview, its job is done. The actual interview itself, on the other hand, that is where you do need to stand out. So that is not necessarily a resume issue, but it is a 1:75, so we may be able to get you more interviews. You're also thinking of maybe like trying to look in the US. If you are, you need to make sure you have a ability to work in the US, such as a visa or a sponsorship, because that is the hardest part of working in the US, is getting the legal ability to work in the US. So, and if people want to know how to stand out during interviews, that is something I can also teach, but that is during my live stream, which I just see that question right now, and I'll answer after I'm done recording this video. Someone just typed that, and I thought that was good to say. So, with extra ado, let's begin to see what we can do to fix this. This formatting is fine. I like this. I don't think this needs the line under it, or this needs bolding, but those are very minor quibbles, so I don't think I really need to focus on formatting, with the exception of your education, which is so far down I physically can't even show it. So the education should be above the professional experience. I know you just graduated with a... Oh, I see why you did that. Never mind. That's okay. They have an... They have a, oh my gosh, an associate's and not a bachelor's, so I see why they did that. That's okay. This should be one line and not bolded, but otherwise this is clean and easy to read mostly. Maybe the thing is off, but developed a company's private framework for makeup trying application using perfect FTK, enabling control of image, implemented local data core, NS cache, blah, 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 created, da, 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 da. Okay, so here's the problem with this, right? It's not a formatting issue. I have to go down here before I see my first keyword. My first keyword is MVVM and solid. Those are some. Now, they weren't in every job, but they were in a few. So ideally, you should have some other ones up top. You combining YuleKit and Swift UI. This is good. This is what I want to see. But then that's it, actually. That's kind of the problem. I don't see that. In this entire giant thing, you have YuleKit, Swift, MVVM, and solid. And Agile? Agile can be. Scrum team can be. I need more. There's just not enough. I want this very first sentence to have iOS, Swift, and YuleKit. That is what I want your very first sentence to be. I want your very first sentence to have iOS, Swift, and YuleKit. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Maybe it's YuleKit or whatever. But it needs to have that. And then you need to shrink a couple of these or add some of these extra keywords. You have MVVM and solid, which is good. But again, there's just not enough. And I don't think I even saw a singular SDK, truthfully. So let's look at the second one, developed in HTML for Swift. There we go. Swift is good. Backend UI with RESTful API. That's okay. Yeah, you just don't have enough. You have all the Swift stuff here, but you want it here. I mean, that's my primary issue is I don't see iOS, which again, that's a keyword. iOS is a keyword. It's good that you have it here, but I need to see it more. I need to see more Swift here in the first one, more YuleKit in the first one, and then maybe add in some of these extra ones too. But that's all I'm really finding, right? Like there's just not a ton of keywords. Formatting is good though. I will say, like I really have minor complaints with formatting. And then I don't even know if people can see this down here, right here. There is cloud. So this should probably be up top. So I'm missing keywords. I would not change the formatting. I just need more bullet point stuff. This is a little bit anemic in bullet points. There's just not enough. That's kind of the thing. There's just not enough. I can see it moving forward. I want to be clear. I know why you get 1 in 75 is because you actually have some of the keywords. They're just kind of buried deeper down. You want them up front and center so you can get more. And then you can start putting in some of the rest of the stuff that every other company would have. So overall, yeah, I think this is an okay resume. I think it could be a lot better, and I could see recruiters missing what they want because they may go here and then maybe only see MVVM and solid and then miss YuleKit or Swift. But I need iOS, I need Swift, I need YuleKit. Those were in almost every single one. Those are the most important keywords. And then I think that's all I can really say for this resume. Good formatting, though. I really do like it. Even though it's not exactly mine, it's still okay. Formatting still works. So that is it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And if you need more help, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I am here from 11 a.m. PST to about 3 hours, so about 2 p.m. PST, where I give all this advice and more, like how to stand out during interviews. So I will see you all in the next video. Cool. So that is a good question, Sleepy. How do you stand out during interviews? So the thing you want to know, right? This is sort of the psychology of interviews, right? Would be a way to say it, sort of. The psychology of the interviews of how you're looking for is managers are hiring you to solve a specific problem. Now, what that problem is going to vary, right? Like, obviously that's going to vary based on the industry, the duty, and whatever. So what you want to do to stand out is you want to know what that problem is, and you want to be able to solve that problem without causing any other problems. Now, I'm saying that broadly because, again, I don't know individually what that is, and one manager's problem is going to be a different manager's not a problem. So, as an example, in recruitment, there are a lot of problems you can have. You can have issues with finding candidates for tough-to-fill roles, or you could have issues getting through the volume of roles. And during that, they may also, so like DE&I, maybe they have issues with DE&I. So what you would want to do during the interview is you want to identify what their problem is. And for a software engineer example, maybe they need somebody that is a subject matter expert on Java. Maybe they need somebody that can do the grunt work. We don't know, but you need to find out what their problem is and then talking about your skills, solve it. So for example, on the recruiting front, if I'm in the interview and I say, yeah, so like, what is the biggest issue that previous people had in this role? And they say, well, there's a large volume of recruitment. And I say, oh, that's no problem for me. My average rec load was 75 requisitions a month, and I filled almost all of them, like 45 or 50 a month. And a couple of them were a little harder to fill, but I was still able to do them. But most of them were, I was used to a rec load of 75 average positions at once. And they say, oh, okay, so you already can handle that stuff, you know what you're doing. I'm like, yeah, that's good. And they want to make sure that you don't cause problems, right? So they say, yeah, that was it. And here's nothing I said would cause a problem. But if you say like, yeah, I had 75 requisitions and I was very upset with that, so I started yelling and screaming in the office about them to get it to stop, so they dropped me down to 12. That is a problem. So you wouldn't want to say that. So your entire goal during the interview is to solve the problem and not create more problems. And again, I have to speak on that broadly because I don't know what you're doing. And I don't know what interviews you are. And even in the same industry, manager A's problem is not going to be manager B's problem. Like if they're two Python engineers for two different managers, one may have a problem with actual Python. The other one wants someone to know a mid-level of Python. But their biggest issue is the AWS. So during an interview, find the problem and then showcase that you have solved it before. Actually, I think that's sort of a way to do that, which I want to do. So it's find the problem and show that you have solved it at previously via your story. So find the problem, solve the problem, don't create new ones. Don't create new problems. And some of those problems, Twitchy, hey, just want to stop by and drop a quick thank you for the advice. Got an offer today that has saved me from a rather tricky situation. Yes! Offer. Hell yeah. I am so happy. All right, we're going to give you these. We're going to give you a couple of these. Everybody give them a cheer in chat. That's what we do. When someone gets an offer, we give them a little bit of a cheer. So give them a little bit of a bear as well. Thank you. I am glad you stopped by to let me know, and I'm glad you got an offer. I am now going to mark that into success because I have a success template. So, but yes, that is the principle behind what you need to do during an interview is find the problem, solve the problem, and show that you have already solved it at previous places while also not creating new ones. So, which is easier said than done, but that is the principle for interviews. And again, what the problem is going to vary. I wish I could tell you exactly, but that's also why working as a team is good, is they want to make sure that you don't cause problems for the team. So that kind of stuff. But yeah, we would love to hear more Twitchy. If you got time, I always love hearing people's success stories and what actually helped, because sometimes it's hard to tell what has helped. And my biggest problem is I help people and then they never come back again because they don't need it. So it's kind of a vacuum. So whenever anybody comes back, I'm always very happy because it makes me, it gives me the feedback, because there's not a lot of feedback I get from this. So But yeah, that's how to do it. And like, this is also why it's important to show stories during interviews. Is how to stand out is by solving it. And that's usually all it breaks down to is, can you solve the problem? I still have quite a few friends that are navigating the process who still likely see me around. Good. Send them my way. Throw them my way. That was very loud on the microphone. Send them my way. I'd be glad to help them. I may be running out of resumes soon. Since I started making my keyword list, I've started to zoom through these because the biggest issue of actually doing this is finding the keywords for the individual positions. So I need more resumes. I want to help more people. That is my job. I mean, technically that's not actually my job, but that's my job here. That is what I'm doing here. That is what I like to do here. That is what I'm helping people do. So, all right. We haven't added like 2 minutes, which I have 2 snoozes. So if I add this, that means, yeah, I could end a little early today because I still got stuff to do. So let's snooze it. Let's keep snoozing it. The stream will be another 12 minutes or so. So keep asking me questions about what it is, what you need, and that kind of stuff. Because I wish there was an easier way for me to teach this stuff outside of the resume reviews, because the resumes are really like only 40%, 45% of the process. Interviews are the other 45%, and then the offers are the rest of the percent. Which, truthfully, if you lose out on an offer, it's usually pretty obvious what happened. Like, oh, I did X when I shouldn't have, or I did Y when I shouldn't have. So usually losing out on an offer is kind of an issue. Hey, spaghettis. Spaghettis. I love that. I work in tech. How do you recommend people talk about working on products that aren't public yet? You don't. So, like, here, you could say, created a, redacted if you need to. Redacted product using AWS, SQL, Java that allowed us to blank, right? Like just that. Created a product. You don't even have to say redacted. You say created a product or worked on a product and I have seen people, this is why, okay, so some people say like, oh, you just need to put on your resume like it was under contract and you can't talk about it. No, I have seen people successfully talk about things that were, on an NDA, and you talk about what you did in a broad term. You don't say, I worked on Headless Headhunter secret application. You say, worked on an internal company app that was designed to connect people where I used AWS, SQL, etc. And then you just go normally. Because I've seen resumes that have been NDAs before, and they are not what everybody says. Because I really hate that advice of, oh, you just need to say that you're on an NDA. And it's like, no, that's immediately sus. Because I've seen NDA resumes before. I have reviewed, I've gotten people jobs with NDA resumes before. They are not that. They don't just say it's under NDA, I can't talk about it. They still talk about this stuff. Because, like, look, this is this person's actual good sentence. Oh, that was more insulting than I meant it to be. Which was, architected the application using MVVM and solid design principles, combining ULKit and SwiftUI for a robust, flexible UX interface with clean structural patterns and dependent. So that is a good sentence to do that on, right? This is how you did it. You don't, if you're under NDA, this is fine to say. Nothing here would get you in trouble, and it still shows what you are, which I'm going to show here. So, as for the story, I was working in a marketing role in UA as a temp permit. Company was quite toxic, and long story short, axed me way through probation. Boo. Basically, I had 2 months to find another role or head back to home country. General advice in this fight making I heard I was able to land something with a month to spare. Wow, that was very fast. Yes! All right. Just to let you know, Twitchy, I am going to copy that, if that is okay, in my kudos section. So, of people that I have helped. So, I'm going to put down exactly what you said. But yes, that is good. It's especially hard if it's, I don't know how hard it is outside the U.S. For visa stuff. So, good. I am glad to help. Throw more people my way. I'm here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, except this Friday because I'm going to a friend's wedding I have to get ready for the wedding, so that's like an all-day thing. So, But yeah, spaghettis, that is the big thing, is you don't want to appear sus. And this is kind of my problem with a lot of advice I see on like Reddit and stuff from non-recruiters. And thank you again, Twitchy. I appreciate that. So is in the process of trying to hide something, you make it worse. Like, I want to use the example. I don't know if this is a good example. I've used it before. I think it's better. It's like candidates overemphasize how important a gap is on their resume. And in the process of trying to fix the gap, which is what everybody keeps saying, they make it worse, right? Like, it's like hanging out with somebody and you accidentally called them the wrong name, right? Like, you're talking to me and be like, yeah, hey, Bob. And you're like, oh, their name is not Bob, it's Lee. And then in the process of that, instead of saying, my bad, wrong name, they instead say, I hate you and your mother, everything you deserve to, and then you slap them in the face and you run away. Like that's what I keep saying, is when you keep trying to hide stuff, it ends up being worse than what the actual problem is. It's just like, oh, I forgot his name. What do I do? Slap him in the face and punch him. Run. And then that's what people keep doing. And you don't want to do that. So that's why, like, you know, NDA is fine. You just write it like I showed you right there. I write it like that. That's how you do it. It's not, you know, you don't need to cover it up. Because the point of the resume, again, is not to show why you're good. It's to show that you have the basic qualities for the interview. The interview is where you stand out, by telling those stories about how you've solved problems. And what that problem is, that is actually the tough part, is you have to find that out during the interview. Because, again, manager A's problem is going to be different than manager's B problem. So, but you need to figure out that it is. And like in recruiting, some of the problems are, it's a volume issue. Others are, the hiring managers need extra help because they're very, like, maybe picky, and that's actually hurting them, and you have to fix that. But you don't have any real power to do that. So, or maybe they have a couple of very tough to find jobs and nobody's getting candidates for them, or the salary's low. So you have to find that out in the interview. For the current NDA topic, is something that I was forced to learn after working in marketing. When I was leaving, I had a stark realization I need to find a smart workaround for NDAs to show I've done something. There's a smart way to obscure identified details without breaking the NDAs. Yes, correct. And again, you can just do it like this, is you don't tell exactly what the app is. You give a very broad thing. Like if you were working on an NDA at Google, right, you could say, worked on our personal app, because again, Google's going to have apps. That's expected. You know, so this, I think, again, I want to link it again, is a good way to write it in the NDA. Is this doesn't say anything, architected an application using X and Y, right? With clean stuff. So a big fashion company became client within the fashion retail vertical. Yeah, that's fine. Twitchy is correct on how to do that. So I hope that makes sense, spaghettis. Yeah. So you want to make sure you can say it broadly without dropping a name. Yes, that is correct. Twitchy is saying it 100% correct. Headless, I'm graduating in approximately 4 months and currently making a cleaner CV with your template. As an AI ML engineer, how different are actually interviews compared to data scientists? How many projects do you including? Enough projects that you show enough keywords. Interview-wise, it's a little different. Every company's interview process is going to be the same. Every company's interview process is going to be different, not the same. Arkle Wolfen, thank you, by the way, for first talking. So what I want as an AI ML engineer, right? I do have that saved. AI engineer, which is different than these are the keywords I'd be looking for AI engineer. As long as I see those in the projects and the internships, and you want them in the first half of your resume. So there is a thing that everybody says about, like, oh, your resume needs to be 1 page. Oh, it needs to be 2 pages. Oh, it needs to be 3 pages. The length of your resume doesn't matter. The actual important part of your resume is if it's in the first half of your resume. That's it. That's the most important part. You could have a 3-page, a 4-page, a 1-page, doesn't matter. It needs to be in the first half. In fact, about everything you can see on this screen right now is where I need to find the keywords, which is about the first half. So if you a little bit, like third. So as long as I see those in the first half, that's what I want. That's what I want, because it's very possible they may not go to the next half of the resume. And the reason I say the first half and not one page is some managers like 2-page resumes. Some managers like 3-page resumes. Some recruiters like longer resumes to dig into. But you're not going to be able to game the system because everybody's going to have a different system. But it's important that it's in the first half. So like here is where, yeah, basically what I'm showing on screen is where I need to see it. So that is where specifically I need to see all of your keywords. Because if it's not there, they may miss it. They may not find it. So that's specifically what I want as an AI engineer is I want to see those keywords, AI, ML, LLM, NLP, Python, R, MATLAB, LangChain, Skiggity, Learn, Cloud, TensorFlow, PyTorch, CTL, DevOps, Hadoop, Spark, or Kafka in the first half. Now, you don't have to have all of those. Realistically, you have AI and one other of the AI things. You have Python and R, and then maybe LangChain or Skibbity Learn, and you're fine. But I want the majority of those, and they need to be in the first half, Arkle. So, does that make sense? I hope it does. I spilled water. I spilled water on myself. I'm very klutzy. I wish I was not as klutzy, but I am. So, any last minute questions for today? Again, I'm not going to stream this Friday. I got a wedding, but I will be here Wednesday. In fact, let me make sure I am going to be here Wednesday. And I'm not, like, missing something Wednesday. Let's see. Nope, yep, I'm busy later in the evening. So I will be here Wednesday for sure. A side question from my side about the process. Generally, how much leeway do you usually have when you have an offer pending? Any risky move start date? Okay, so that is a good question. Anytime, start date's a little bit different. I'm going to go specifically to salary and benefits. So this is specifically salary, sign-on bonuses, anything like that. Anytime, any single time you negotiate, you open up the risk of the other party to walk away. It's not like a huge risk, but it's there. Some managers and some candidates, if they say, well, what if we offer X instead, we'll just pull the offer or not sign the offer. It is always a risk. Now, in regards to moving start date, that's a little bit different. So what you can say, and although there is a possibility of them pulling it, is say, hey, Lee, I am very excited to start. Unfortunately, I think I might need a little bit more time to move and get the houses in order. Instead of a 2-week start date, would I be able to do a 3.5-week start date? So from start date, you actually have a little bit of leeway because even at least in the US, there's also the background check. And a manager would rather wait a week than have to restart the hiring process. So unless you have somebody who's able to do it that day, it's not necessarily a huge risk. It's a very small risk. But a lot of the times, as long as you just say, hey, I may need, like you say, based on everything and moving, which I'm very happy to do, I think instead of a March 15th start date, would it be possible for a March 25th start date? And you ask them for a would it be possible, right? Now, salary, again, anytime you open up negotiations, any single time you open up negotiations, there is always the large possibility they walk away. And that doesn't mean it's like 100% or like a 20% chance, but it's there. Some people do not negotiate. So I hope that answered that question. So moving and start date, you have some leeway, right? Usually managers are more understanding because it's easier to wait a week than a 3-month process again. Where I'd likely to push things a week or so to make sure work permits. Yeah, that's fine. Most managers would be okay with that. Obviously, no one's a monolith, but you should be fine with that one. So, because you just say, hey, I need a couple things to get through the visa straight. I want to make sure everything's correct, etc., etc. So, all right, we are going to raid another channel, everybody, because I have run out of skips, and I want to make sure that we don't have any more ads. So, let's see who we're going to. Is NH Code still here? Yes, she is. We are definitely going to raid her. She is awesome. So, yeah, anyway, I will be back Thankfully, you're well above what I was expecting. Yeah, no worries, Twitchy. I'm glad you got a position, and I will see everybody on Wednesday. All right, it's to help more people. So let's begin the raid. We are starting the raid. And I think that's everybody. Yeah, have a nice day, everybody. I'm glad you could join me. So let us go.